a ticket, make his way over to Evo, help some family with selling some stuff, and somehow sneak his way into the arena. That's so if you're looking for the people that did that, Hado, he's number one right there. I will give up his address for a reward, tickets for next year. Anyway, so Static Evo 2023, highest ever attended Evo, so much that now fucking Cannon Brothers had the key to the city. There's Evo Day in August. I think August 6th is Evo Day. All kinds of nonsense went on throughout that whole weekend. Give us your experience, including that long ass line that you had to go through. How was it? Because you've been to previous Evos where there was definitely less people. More people is great, but how has that affected you, and how did that turn out for your weekend?
I was there for the Evo in 2015. Nope, 16. Well, 14 all the way through now. But I was there for 2016 where it was 5,000 people for Street Fighter. There were a lot of people. However, there was also a lot of just meandering. It was also a Smash event, Pokken event, whatever event. I don't know if you remember, Meza, like that Artist Alley, it just felt like a whole mess of people. And a lot of people just weren't there, or they were just crowding the hallway. So from that point, it's like, so there, for some reason, other Evos didn't have so much issues with their lines. I mean, you have lines of getting into certain places, but this was another problem. Now, I see people already have their badges. This line you're showing on the screen right now was just to get in on Friday morning. Because this line is moving. They're letting some people go in. That's Friday morning's line to get into the tournament, to get into Evo. But mind you, stop right there.
Oh,
I got in line right here, like at this point where the
this is where the arena is, isn't it?
Yeah. I got in line a little bit like
the random Eno right there.
I know. I got in line at the window. When I got in line at the window, they started lining people up into the arena, and then all the way back. But that's not it. That's not all. As we got up to the aquarium that's right at the food court, you had to go in line all the way behind the aquarium, all the way out and U-shape out of there. This video doesn't show all that. So there was still right there to your left, past the Starbucks. Yes, placement, yes. All of that, you had to go back there and come U-turn around all the way back. See, I don't know what jump cut he made there.
Why was there such a line though? Like, it's just to get in. If people already have badges, like, you're just walking in. Why is it that crazy? Was it security?
Because there were some people still getting badges and some people not. Now, granted, this is Friday, remember? There was badge pickup on Thursday. Badge pickup on Thursday was my biggest issue. Here's what, let me see. So badge pickup on Thursday was, so you had to get in line, which was fine. You know, people are getting in line. Some things are moving, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The major issue was that as I'm getting inching closer, they're not funneling people into where they're supposed to go. They're asking people, if you signed up with your gamer tag, stay in this line. No, if you got a customized tag, go to that line. If you got a customized tag with your name on it, go to that line. And that line was spread out between A through something, A through another one letter, L through something else, something to something, and even like exclamation marks, or if you started with like any like special numbers,
symbols or whatever.
Mine was in S through Z. So the S through Z line was the longest line in the world, because you have to go through Shins, you have to go through Does, you have to go through Shin Megami, my name is Sensei. I don't know. You had to go through all those names, even W names. So you had to go through Z names. There was only, I think, one person with a laptop prior to that. Then there were two people by the time I got there, after like an hour and a half of waiting. I was like, you know what? Let's all go eat. We'll get there at 10:30. It opens at 10. Whatever, we'll be fine. I got out of there at 12, like 12 noon. It was impossible, and people didn't know what line to go in because they were all the lines were like sideways, like diagonal. But I digress. That took an extra long time to get done. I did tweet out to them like, hey, this is bad. Like, people are getting their tags Like custom. What's the point of getting a customized badge if it's gonna take long to get one?
Not only am I paying extra, but I'm also my time is gonna get taken away, huh?
Right, and then other general admission people just went right through. So that was the weirdest start. So that's, I mean, it just makes no sense that it wasn't funneled correctly with people that knew that they were talking about. And then so that other morning, yeah, that line was extra long to get in on Friday morning. But again, if you had a Friday morning pool, they were allowing people to go in if they had a 10 a.m. pool.
Yeah,
like
shout outs to that one. And also to even Jabali. I heard Jabali was like tweeting, like, anyone that sees me, if you got a 10 a.m. pool, like, I will grab you and you go up front. Like, so I'm happy that they, you know, there's no way that's an afterthought for them. Like, you know, it's about the players, it's about the competitors as much as it is an experience.
This was security that I saw do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, I got 10 a.m. No, I'm kidding. But I was actually at the front of the line when they let somebody in do that. But then there was other security that was like, "What? We're letting people in?" Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the. You saw how it was diagonal in that video.
You could be in there.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't until the very end of the night that I saw that people were in line. I saw a couple people. I was like, "Did you get a customized badge? Stay this way. If you did not, stay that way." But yeah, it was just nonstop. But then you don't know until you get into the vicinity of the area, you know, where you have to go. And then there's one lady putting people somewhere, and people are thinking, oh, am I M through N? Should I go here? Am I in here? Am I this? Am I that? And I'm like, this is atrocious, because there's been other Evos where they have a huge room and it's like billions. I don't know, that's an exaggeration, like maybe minus 999,999. But you know, there's a whole lot of other like desks. Meza, you were there the one year, and where
we got our stuff fast.
Yeah, because
we got our stuff fast and we were out.
Yeah, a whole room dedicated to all of that. Now, were there customized badges at the time? Probably, but like I got a customized badge. Like, oh, I remember last year I didn't have to stay in line because I was late because of flights. But yeah, like I don't remember things being so bad.
Maybe it's time they really get when they have these people who are directing people and whatnot, they have megaphones, or you know, they also have walkie-talkies to communicate with each other. I feel like that's really big if they're gonna, you know, send however many people, right?
Yeah, but to be honest, like the line is really always moving on the Friday nights and Saturday mornings or whatever, because there is someone that's there designating people. All right, go in. Okay, go in. The metal detectors are literally one of those camera ones where they allow you to just pass through, or we check your bag and then you're in. Like it always flowed. And this year, I don't know why, they were allowing a lot more food in. There was a lot more leniency. You were allowed to come in with outside food and drink.
Hope so, because bro, like I was worried about that for all y'all that were going, because man, food was already a battle, a battle to begin with. But like you had this many people, like.
I mean, plus COVID's kind of passed, right? So.
you say that. You say that.
hey, I'm saying in a sense of like it's not on high alert like it was the year.
You say that
when we went.
Give the rest.
It's not gonna get back.
Give the rest of this week, man. Because if the Twitter might just be Twitter or X is gonna fucking blow up and be like, who here doesn't have COVID? Because it's already starting, and I'm like,
yeah, no. The Marvel suite has already gotten apparently like 5.
Damn.
So, yeah, I regret going there, but let's see what happens to me tomorrow.
It'd be like that.
Yep, I did not hug anyone, I swear.
So, okay, post badge pickup, all that stuff. All right, let's get through there. What about the day, first day in? How
first day in,
you know
first
what
game?
You were just playing off the rip.
Instantly had to play Guilty Gear. My first match I had to buy because I had seeded well and all of that. I had to play on stream first. If you saw me,
yes, I saw. Literally, true fact story. I am. It's Friday. It's Friday, and I'm taking my dog. I'm taking my dogs to a dog park with the other half, and we're chilling. And then I get a phone call, and it's this fool right down here below. And the first things he says, like, yo, coach, I'm about to go on stream. I got to play an Angie player. What should I pick? And I'm like, and then we have our little conversation. I'm like, bro, like Angie can't wake up. You like to do the command grab super. Like, it's free. Like, no problem. You just got to play a little solid, but you got this. And then sure enough, my man, you delivered. I was in the middle of a dog park yelling like, "Let's fucking go!" Like especially by the end, when you took the burst and perfected them. I was like, there you go. That's how you win. Yo, go watch if you didn't watch his match, go watch his match because even Giuna was like, yo, the genius. Like he called you out as a genius because you did optimal punish and everything. He was just like, what is going on here? Because not to say you were doing bad, but he was just like, you just popped off, and he was like, what?
There was a big download. A lot of my matches were downloads in Guilty Gear.
Oh, word.
All right, Gabe. No more playing Street Fighter, bro. You got the silver approval from Giuna. You need to start playing Guilty Gear.
Gabe, here's a secret. Gabe doesn't give a fuck about Strive. It's not his Guilty Gear.
I mean, it is. Eno's in it.
It's not. No, it's not his Guilty. It's not his Eno. He is so far removed from it.
At least you got the character, all right?
But all right, so you got to play on stream. And by the way, anyone else listening, go check out his matches. They were actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I got to winners finals and losers finals of both pools. I lost to a Sin player who always DP'd, and I never air dashed the Faultless Deed, so that was my fault. Then I lost to a Nago player. I press buttons from Tallahassee area, like from Panhandle.
I know I press buttons. Yeah.
Big Fro, but big Nago player. He's really cool. Man, they all got Chipotle cards. That's pretty cool.
Damn.
You
didn't get to do the Chipotle tweet. Shame on you.
No.
How is people gonna know you got a burrito bowl?
I did not. I paid for my burrito bowls. Anyway, after that was like I was playing back to back, and I was going back to my brother's table. However, after I was done Guilty Gear, I noticed how many setups there were. Like last year, the Command Center and the Artist Alley. Well, the Command Center was a lot closer to the major areas, but the Command Center this year was where the Artist Alley was last year. And they brought the community. Wow. They brought the community
community tournaments,
the community game stream. They brought that to the wall that was where some of the major tournaments were happening. So, and the Grand Blue Fantasy was also in the main game area. So any main game / demo game / arcade stuff was all in one huge rectangular area. Which was much better because the community games before were on the BYOC side and nobody could watch those games anywhere. There were barely any seats over there for that as well. This time they made it with the actual games, so that was cool. My biggest issue.
So it was more connected than lesson.
Oh yes, but my biggest issue was Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll must have played a caca ton of money because they were in like the major like Pulse area, and they had DJs blasting their music all the time, and it was distracting because as soon as I get into the main like Artist Alley to my brother's area, I thought they were in a bad area. That's what I almost complained about last week, but I noticed everybody went to the junk food arcades and to the Artist Alley immediately. There was traffic immediately in the Artist Alley. That is awesome. I cannot explain to you how great that is for those community people that are getting just trying to make a buck or two, and they had a lot of people going through there. It was awesome. Street Fighter, I played at 10. No, not 10. That was 10. 1 o'clock, and I lost. Beat a Zangief player. I pulled off like a pixel comeback with Rashid, and then I had to play Incross, who's a KOF player. He beat me with Kimberly, and then I lost to a JP player. At this point, I started noticing that they were telling me not to put the 2 USB ports in the back, just to use 1 USB port in the front and 1 USB port in the back. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then started. No, there were no issues at that time. However, then there was. I played Marvel. I had to wait for that. Well, I was like, hey, can I switch the Melty Blood over to there? So yes, as we were saying in the chat, there are a lot of PS5s that were still left on. Now, I don't know about Nova Night, but there were PS5s and PS4s that were just left on, without anybody until the actual match or until the referee can go there. It was very weird. I don't want to say there was negligence on any parts, but there could be a lot of times that things could have gotten done a little bit faster. But again, it's that much people, guys. There's that many people. It is so overcrowded. Like, I don't know where you go from here when it comes to like Tekken or any other games next year. Like, Evo's, I think, outgrown themselves. Like, I think
they need more space.
I think they need more space and another day.
That's a lot of freaking money, bro.
I think another day is fine, but the problem is when you talk about more space, there's very few places we can go that have more space, right? We're kind of filling up one of the biggest places, but the next other place we could go is Chicago Convention Center, which that's the only other bigger space
They
in
go
the states,
nowhere.
still, right? So
My
unless
other-
something's built,
then what else you can do other than space is create another day. Like a Thursday would be great because competitors don't even get to see everything or do everything. Like if you're competing and you made it to like the finals day, you've been playing like all weekend long. You really don't get to test out Mortal Kombat or Project L or this, that, and the other. Like you may because you're a pro player and they're like, hey, come on, play Project L. Oh,
yeah, after hours
like
though.
yeah, like all of that. But again, there's also like let's see. But yeah, exactly that's it, Bryce. Yes, there's other space that is also in Mandalay Bay that's always the space Black Hat takes up during the same weekend.
Yeah, I was
Next
gonna
year,
say.
it's gonna be in July again.
Yeah,
I thought this year they were gonna use the other space, but obviously they're the same weekend.
Yeah, PSA to those that just now you know, but Black Hat has always been in tandem with Evo for like quite some time now since they've been in August, where it happens at the same time. And yeah, Black Hat is a literal hacker convention. Don't get me wrong, you'll find a lot of fake stuff, but nothing there is malicious because it's actually all organized. It's meant for, it's actually very corporate-y and learning. Yeah, so like don't sweat too much about it. It's not like someone's actually going to take your data and for malicious purposes or anything like that.
Controlled environment.
it's a pretty controlled environment. Yeah, it's a pretty controlled environment. But yeah, I was going to say Black Hat, whatever they're pulling up, because they have like that whole other area and like the second floor, like the escalators and stuff on the side, like also puts them to another level that they're always like taking. So
maybe this is why this year for Evo it's pushed back a little bit further coming up for 2024. It's like I think on the 26th to 28th or something like that now, which is weird because all Evo is supposed to be August, the weekend of August 6th, 8th to 8th.
It used to be the
My
middle of
birthday
July,
weekend.
which I like.
True, but I mean maybe because it's getting bigger and to secure that spot to also maybe use that section where you guys were talking about, they may have to.
better use that key, open up some doors, bro. We need some
Yeah, right.
space.
Sora,
city.
where are you?
Yo.
They get the key to the city, and they're like,
got the
next
key.
year we weren't planning on Vegas.
So, yeah, how fucked up would that be? No, you know what? Yo, I gotta put it out there. The governor is so fucking real for that shit. When that brother said, "Yo, here's the key to the city. It'll keep you out of jail tonight," I was like, "Oh, he knows. Go wild. Be a recluse. You can be like, officer, I have the key to the city," and be like, "Oh, excuse me. Let me get you out of
I
here."
do say this is interesting because them giving them the key to the city, I wonder if, and this is like a little side tidbit, most people don't know F1 is moving to Las Vegas
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah.
we're going to be seeing
They were
a lot
repaving
more
all the
flow.
streets.
They're doing all the
Oh, yeah.
roads. The Tropicana's going down. They're putting
Hey,
up the
man.
world's smallest baseball field there. It's getting wild out there.
It's like not even for another 4 or 5 months, so I
Yeah.
think it's interesting though that we got a key, and I feel like we're part of like this big system now, where I wonder if
Hey.
it's going to still flow well.
Super Bowl, baby. They're getting a Super
Yeah,
Bowl as
Super
well.
Bowl
And Allegiant
as
Stadium
well.
was right across the street from Mandalay Bay. There's literally a bridge that connects it to it. I don't know if
Yep.
it was underground or whatever it was, but everything is there. T-Mobile Arena, all of that is there. It is like, my brother was like, is this another little LA that's coming up? Probably. Like Vegas is actually, like for some reason, there was a Starbucks at every corner.
it's on the come up.
I'm not kidding. There's a Starbucks at every corner in the Mandalay Bay, in every hotel.
Yep.
Like if you see that clip that Dre showed at the start of the line, there's a Starbucks there,
You, like,
and at
passed
the
through
end of the
two of
line
them.
in the cafe, there was another Starbucks.
Yeah.
So like they're everywhere, man. Like it is coming up, and is it cheaper to go to Vegas? Yeah, sometimes depending on the hotel you get. I saw Circus was at $7. Don't do it. But I saw Stratosphere was also $9. Don't do it.
$7 holla. I'm in there.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
I'm in
Right.
there.
Don't do it. Maybe you can put your stuff at the bell desk, but I mean,
Good luck getting it back.
Right. But these are just things, by the way, that's not covering my whole weekend. My brother did have a bunch of, he sold a lot of stuff. Again, I got bodied on the first day, but again, lost to K-Brad and some other Hawkeye May Cry player. I almost recorded my footage back, but I don't want to see it again. I know what happened. I blacked out. I was like, man, am I really making it out? And then I forgot what point character I had, and it just like literally panic X factored and just.
So kind of to wrap this up, like, what are your thoughts on the stadium though? Because I know it was a debacle, right? You were, I think, trying to find a ticket even by that Saturday or something like that, right? You were like, I need to get a ticket, and even there was people that weren't going, and I was tagging you, be like, yo, this person's selling it, like how'd you get in?
He ended up selling it for $200. And
how'd you get in?
Yeah, I was like, no. How'd I get in? A friend of my brother's who came in last year, he was going to come in, but he ended up getting sick and stayed home. So he gave us his.
Wow, what a good look.
Oh, that's nice of him.
I know. He gave us his. Well, he didn't give it to us. We bought it off him, of course. And then
Right.
what is it? Somebody else had sold us theirs as well, so that my friend could get in. I was not there for this. We ended up leaving because during the Punk and who was it? Punk and the other Ken player.
Toki? No, not Toki. They never faced each
No,
other.
it was in winners because
Big
Punk
Bird.
was in winners finals.
Big
Yeah.
Bird.
During that match,
No.
we weren't tired, but man, we were both like nodding out. Like, we were
I don't
both
blame you. I
going
mean,
out.
it was a long day.
It really was. The arena finals, I was not able to get there early for the beginning of Marvel. Just the logistic issues and just personal. Me and my brother got in a little argument. No worries. See, I was actually sitting right there around that area. So yeah, it was a little bit of that. I didn't get to see Liberal Terminator play in person against Nico, against King Blue River, but that was cool. Like the arena, again, something that I really hope that they implement if they're going to use the arena again, unless they go to like MGM or I don't know what it is. They need to use the full arena, like open up the back. I don't know if they're using it for like any backstage stuff or just a production.
More than likely, it was for production and all.
But like,
I mean, they had
maybe
the music, right? So
that music was actually right there. Stop. Pause it.
It was on the second.
Yeah.
It was like on
oh,
another floor. It wasn't like on
Yeah.
like anywhere you sit.
I thought
at.
it was. I actually thought it was
Right there.
behind
That's it.
The,
That's the stage.
top.
Oh,
when we see the
okay.
big Luke mural there. There's a little side.
oh, okay,
side
so it was
area.
off there. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was
exactly.
the same stage, just behind it. Okay.
No,
That was next to basically opposite of where the commentators were.
Yep.
Was it hard to
so-
see?
Well, I wasn't. I mean, not
I
necessarily.
mean, just wherever you were, was
Actually,
it hard to see the matches though?
I'm still a
I know you
fan
asked about it
to this
last
day.
time.
I'm
The
still a
center.
fan of the center. Exactly. I am still
Yes.
a big fan of the center stage. Like, I don't know if it's a logistic thing. I don't know if it's a just an overall problem as to when that's available. But when they had center stage Evo, where everyone's just looking one direction and not curling your fucking neck
Yes.
the entire time
Yes,
or
we're
having
not
to
doing the
turn.
Bret Hart.
Like, yeah, the center stage Evo is S tier.
Yes, and of course, and you have everybody that can fit in there, man. Like,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have had the. I mean, there'll still be people that didn't have tickets. We wouldn't have had the major debacle that you had before. Center
Yeah.
stage was ideal, especially because the turning sideways, like the screens above. When I got there for Marvel, the screens up top weren't even on, and not to mention they
Oh,
have
wow.
the entire screen available. If you see that, it shows the the 3 squares of Evo. They had the entire screen available, and the matches were literally on like part of just the screen, part of the screen. Whereas the sides that had their names and then their characters on the bottom, and there was a small rectangle that had their characters on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't ideal. That's the screen that you see. You see that on a small square where they have all of that area. Yeah. The
like, they could've
Jumbotron
just
was
made it
working a
bigger.
little bit. The Jumbotron was working, I believe, at the like second round or second match. But the Jumbotron was actually showing us the stream, what the stream was seeing.
Was seeing. So
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
It was just their feed. But all right. So with grand finals being a a mirror match of sorts, like, I mean, it was something we recognized even while we were watching live. I was like, bro, this is like a lot of it's a lot of mirror matches that I'm seeing in grand finals that are just like 3-0. Some of them are 3-0, right? Street Fighter 6 was pretty competitive. It was like 3-1s, 3-2s the entire way. I think what was it? I think Marvel was also, it was getting kind of tight too. It was like, except for grand finals. Grand finals was a fucking 3-0 though. But
So-
like,
This side, by the way, let me
It
also
was a reset.
extend a little bit of this. By the way, competitively, everything was godlike.
Yes.
In my opinion, a lot of people think that all these mirror matches, which was what we're about to talk about, take away from the competitive side. In the games that I like to watch, I'm sorry, I don't know. I thought it was competitive. But go on, you were saying?
I think overall they were competitive regardless. It's just it ended up being mirror matches. It was just fucking weird. But at the same time, it makes sense. Like, if it's these characters that are solid, these teams and compositions that work, like, that's the meta, that's the move then, right? Like Grand Blue was also a UE. Was it? I thought it was.
I thought it was Siegfried.
No, I thought it was a Siegfried at the end. I would have sworn it was a switch at the end, but it might have started as a Yule mirror. But I do remember Yule winning that. Regardless, though, the mirror matches, it was funny because it just goes to the show, like the strength of the meta and how people are adapting, and they'll just play like what works, right? Like what is the winning or the best possible way of winning. Doesn't mean it's always going to win, but there was still, shout outs to High Fight because he did state, that there was still a good variety of top 6 in terms of character variety, minus Marvel. Really, I think we had 2 different teams in Marvel, or 3 different teams. We had 2.
Coach Steve's team, Zero McCry, and Spartan Throne. And who's the 6th that I'm missing? The 5th. Spartan Throne was Wolverine, Dorm, Iron Fist. ZMC, KBR's team. I think that's everything. Right?
Oh my god, I can't say his name. Dunk. Mundank. I kept saying it the wrong way.
It's still Nova Spencer Magneto.
Was it Nova Spencer Magneto? Yeah, that's like the slight difference. But it was just weird to just see that many grand finals and it being so many mirror matches in there. It was just
top 6 was like super diverse. That's the crazy part.
Top 6 Tekken, like I said, top 6 was a good variety. It's just grand finals kept becoming mirrors.
Grand finals was boring.
Kunimitsu just took over the whole thing. I don't know. It was like Tekken is cool until you get first it was like Kunimitsu. Oh, okay, cool. And then it was just like
Kunimitsu versus Kunimitsu. And guess who's coming up next? Kunimitsu. Yeah.
Bro, Dragon Ball had to end early because the only thing I really enjoyed was probably watching Xiaohai versus ZT. That was actually really, really, really
that one was pretty good.
For a mirror match. They only played 2 characters in two different positions. That was the only thing. Because he played Kyo in one spot and I was like, yeah, I see you. But
yeah. So it was interesting. It was interesting, but it was still great to watch. It was still an amazing competition, regardless, the entire way.
Yeah, you can't nerf K9s. You just can't.
No,
they nerfed them last year. Nothing happened.
Nope, you can't. Yeah, unfortunately, he will be here forever. He's like Majin Buu, like Kid Buu. He will always be prevalent, no matter what. No matter how many nerfs, no matter how many years in, he will still be prevalent.
NRS, don't bring Fujin back, please.
Please do. I want to see Fujin.
Don't, bro. Yes, not like this.
Not like this, but just bring more Fujin. He was awesome. That's my elder god. Well, he's not even an elder god. He's just an elemental god. But anyway, regardless of that, we got our champs. Street Fighter 6 had an amazing run. With it being its first Street Fighter 6 tournament. Shout outs to, of course, Big Bird for winning it. With Ken, it was. All the grand finals were just like they kept me at the edge. It was still as much a viewing experience for myself at home, as I'm sure it was for you on stage when you were there in the arena and all. But I'm just looking forward to see like where it could possibly go. Right? They made announcements. Right? We already have our dates for next year for the next Evo. Yeah. We have our dates for Evo Japan. Right? Happening in April. Next Evo is happening in July, and supposedly another Evo is in the works somewhere else. Chances are probably EU. It's probably a strong guess that that's where they're going to end up at, which lucky for me. But we'll just have to wait and see as to finding out like when that'll happen. Chances are, I want to say maybe Evo Japan. They might announce it. Who knows?
I mean, Evo in EU wouldn't be bad. It's not that expensive to get there either. So it's balanced for everybody. It's a middle ground for everybody.
EU, I feel, is one of those regions that it would make sense, right? Because you can get, it's like EMEA. You can get all that. Yep. Get all that involved. You still can have the African scene that's out there too. That they can make their travel there too. That have we've already had Red Bull out there and do a Kumite out there. That was like really awesome and just showcase awesome communities that are there. I think it'll be a good spot. I think that'll be a great place for them to do it at. We'll just have to wait and see. Please let it be Amsterdam. I just want to be recluse. Just do it in Amsterdam. That'd be sick. We'll just go fucking nuts. But regardless, though, that's gonna be EVO 2023 in a nutshell. There's still plenty more for us to talk about from EVO. We just couldn't squeeze it all here on this episode. We've actually already extended this episode longer than we were initially supposed to. We'll get yelled at for that, but we love you guys. It's all fine. I'll take the lumps for that. Regardless, though, we want to say thank you for hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. Thank you once again to everyone that went to EVO. Thank you to the Cannon Bros and everyone else that has been involved with EVO over so many decades to create such an amazing event, to see fighting games to where it's at. And also, once again, safe travels to everyone that is still traveling, trying to make it a home base and recover. Take care of yourselves. Go get tested. Make sure you're good to go, because the fighting game season is over, but it's kind of just starting all right back up real soon. You know, we're getting patches, we're getting new characters by the end of the month, several games and all. So, you know, we're just jump back on it. For those that competed, didn't go far, you got another year